Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Life doesn't know it, anything goes. Karate lessons, reality shows. I feel so tired, can't believe this is it. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. Staring at cars, selling your art, feeling so sure you're waking up tomorrow. Better son or a daughter, drunk walking home, making a choice to be completely alone. Your mom in the yard, your dad's favorite team, poised to fail, then somehow suddenly win. Love when you're in it, felt in French kissing. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. Every empty calorie expanding sweets inside of me. Your light is a feather, astronomically huge, laughing out loud in your bathing suit. And I'm still alive, best year of my life. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits. It's gonna break my heart to see it blown to bits.
Charly Bliss live on KEXP, coming out of the gates with so much excitement and enthusiasm. The new album called Young Enough, that song called Blown to Bits. You always bring 100% to your shows. I actually rarely pull my phone out during these sessions, but I had to get some photos and videos of you jumping up and down, Eva, during that last song. And again, you all look so great. Thanks for bringing it so much today.
Thank you so much. This is amazing.
We're live here in the studios with Charly Bliss, who are going to be playing at Holocene tonight in Portland and tomorrow back in Seattle at the Crocodile. What have we got next?
We're going to play Capacity.
Ah, this one's a fave.
I used to think that I should be good at everything. Now I know I was wrong. I used to think that I should do right by everyone. Now I know I was wrong. A couple of things is enough, but now I know that every wave is just that crashing if it haunts think one man could fill me up. But now I know that if I'm always stuck obsessed with somebody else, distracting myself from looking at myself, sever every microscopic atom of connection to I can barely keep myself afloat when I'm not saving you. Resurrected from the basement, all my capacity I'm spilling out of me. Desecrated and complacent, all my capacity I'm spilling out of me. It's got nothing to do with me. I was raised at East Coast, which like to me nothing sacrilegious. Triple overtime, ambitious, sentimental, anxious kid. I was raised at East Coast, which like to me nothing sacrilegious. Triple overtime, ambitious, sometimes nothing is delicious. Resurrected from the basement, all my capacity I'm spilling out of me. Desecrated and complacent, all my capacity I'm spilling out of me. It's got nothing to do with me.
Charly Bliss live on KEXP. Eva, Spencer, Dan, and Sam, it's always so fun to have you in studio. You bring so much positivity to your live shows, and it's no wonder that you've gained legions of fans over the years you've been making music. You really give a lot to your audience. And in fact, last time I saw you was at the Showbox last January playing with Wolf Parade.
Yes.
And right after that, you slayed it on stage. The crowd was going wild. And then you come out and meet your fans afterwards. You were at the merch table. You have a real connection with your audience. Tell me a little bit about how you feel about that in your live shows and the connection with the people who have grown to love you.
Absolutely. You know, we've been a band for about 8 years. And so we've really worked our way up very slowly from, you know, playing shows to just our parents and our closest friends who we could kind of force to come to see us play. So to us, like every kind of stage that we're at, every way in which we've grown just feels like a tremendous victory for us. And really, the fact that there are people who are excited to see us play and excited to come to our shows, I don't think we'll ever take that for granted.
Yeah, I think in our minds we'll always be that band that was begging our 5 friends if they could come to the show. And so the fact that, you know, our music resonates with people feels really special.
Absolutely. You know, and especially, we just put out this album, Young Enough, and it's a really personal album. And, you know, you never know how people are going to react to something like that and react to us sharing really personal information with them. But the most incredible thing about it has just been that the more honest and open and vulnerable we are with our fans, like, the more they give that back to us. And at our shows, there's this just, like, electric connection that feels like so crazy and really special. So we love our fans. We're really lucky.
I know you've all pushed yourself really hard on this new record, and you're moving closer and closer to a sound that feels right for the band, which you've been doing the entire career of this band. And tell me a little bit about what you wanted to accomplish with Young Enough and how you got there.
Yeah, I think the number one thing we felt was that we didn't just want to make the same record twice. We were really proud of Guppy. We love that record, but I think, you know, in part, it took so long for us to make that record. It took about 5 years for it to, from start to finish. And so, but by the time it had come out, even, we were ready. We were so ready for new songs and to challenge ourselves and to feel like we were really growing. So from day one, I think that was just like the most important thing to us, to make a record that felt like something new and something that wasn't our first instinct. And, this was our first record we ever made where we didn't all have day jobs or weren't full-time students. And so when we were home from tour, we had all day 9 to 5 to work on songs as if it was our job. So that, I think, is kind of how we were thinking of this record. It was like, we are going to work these songs until they are exactly what we want them to be. We're all perfectionists. And so, just from the outset, that was exactly what we were hoping for.
You said, Eva, that it's a very personal record, and I know lyrics are very important to you. There's a lot of emotions on this record, and different emotions throughout the songs, and I feel it both musically and lyrically. But can you talk a little bit about what this album's about?
Absolutely. The catalyst for this record, I was in a really abusive relationship. I was sexually assaulted by my partner, and once it happened, it was kind of something that I buried and I didn't want to talk to anybody about, which is really strange for me. I'm usually someone who, it's really usually easy for me to ask for help, but something about that situation felt kind of like something I couldn't really dig myself out of. And it's kind of interesting when you do something like that. I feel like you kind of really can't bury something like that. It just sort of comes out of you whether you want it to or not. And that was sort of my experience of writing this record, was just, I hadn't really talked to anybody about it, but I would sit down to write a song, and a song like Chatroom would come out, or The Truth. And it kind of forced me to look at this and accept that that's something that I'd been through. And then, but really the message of the record, I think, is about coming out the other end of something like that. I think it's a really positive record about how dark and difficult and traumatic experiences can kind of force you to grow into someone that you really like and not destroy you or make you a victim or weak or anything. I feel kind of coming out of this, and especially now that we have this record and it's something tangible that I can look at and hold, makes me feel really strong. And I think that's the message of the record, is kind of just about coming out the other end of something, feeling like, proud of that fact that you made it.
Well, that's a very common thing you hear, that people don't feel the ability to share things like that. It's so powerful that you shared it with the people in your life and then with this larger audience. I imagine you've heard from a lot of people who tell you how much that's helped them.
Yeah, and it's mind-blowing. It's definitely not something I take for granted at all. And not only our fans, but even, people in our lives, like family members and friends of mine who we might not have ever had that conversation. And I was really nervous before starting press for this record. I was terrified. I hadn't really talked to my family about it, and so to kind of suddenly put it out there in this super public way felt really scary. But I just feel like the positive energy that's come back from doing that has just been kind of like one of the most rewarding and magical and empowering experiences of my life. So.
Well, it's wonderful to hear that. The results on Young Enough are amazing. Charly Bliss with a brand new album out on Seattle label Barsuk Records. And tomorrow night they'll be back in Seattle playing at the Crocodile. If you're down in Portland, go see them tonight at Holocene. And I believe you got the title track coming up next.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Young Enough. It's Charly Bliss live on KEXP. Love how everyone's moving around.
Inside, I am diving to drown in you. Stripes, your eyes, your voice, the night we're young enough to believe it should hurt this much. Stripes, your eyes, I always wanted to try.
So good. We're live in the KEXP studios with Charly Bliss playing songs from the new album, Young Enough.
Switchback.
Chasing the chat room, talking about you. Everybody knows you're the second coming. Wasted a summer, slapped in my face. Well, I wanna see you stripped down naked. I wanna see you stripped down naked. Spotlight, his word against mine. Every second coming. Love like a brother, poised as an other. I wanna see you strip down naked. I wanna see you strip down naked. I'm not gonna take it home. I'm not gonna save it, no. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna save you. I'm not gonna take you home. I'm not gonna save it, no. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna save you. Smoking gun equivalent, a measure of proof, as if your heart could stand the bullet if it wasn't the truth. Frozen in a catastrophic cycle to choose, as if your heart could stand the bullet if it wasn't the truth. I am trusting you, well adjusted, marks to torment. I erupted every red light, interruption, not pretend, but smoking gun equivalent, a measure of proof, as if your heart could stand the bullet if it wasn't the truth. Frozen in a catastrophic cycle to choose, as if your heart could stand the bullet if it wasn't the truth. Every red light, interruption, left for dead, but I'm not gonna take it home. I'm not gonna take it, no. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take it home. I'm not gonna take it, no. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it home. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take you home. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take you. I'm not gonna take you. Chased in the chat room, talking about you. Everybody knows you're the second coming.
Yay! Charly Bliss live on KEXP. What a great new album. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much.
And thanks so much for visiting us. We love having you here at KEXP.
Thank you. We love KEXP. The best.
Well, until next time, this is Charly Bliss live on KEXP Seattle.
Discover great music at kexp.org.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?